When we think of athletes that are explosive and powerful, what we typically think of are Olympic weightlifters and sprinters, NFL players, and so on. But one very underrated category of athletes when it comes to explosive power production that do not get the recognition that they deserve are the throwers, the athletic throwers that is, which includes shot put, discus throw, hammer throw, and javelin throw. Those might very well be amongst the most powerful athletes on the planet, and we will explore why in this video. When speaking of the mere physical preparation of throwers, their entire methodology and overall existence is based on this: to produce as much total body force in the fastest time frame possible. And this has been subject to rigorous scientific research for many years, and their training methodology is very up to date. In some regards, they are light years ahead of other sports that also demand a high power output and speed. Those sports can learn a lot from the throwers. In essence, throwers, and especially those that compete in shot put, discus, and hammer throw, they need ridiculous amounts of power production, because they must be able to project a relatively heavy weight for the furthest distance possible. This means that when you compare the training of throwers to a more velocity dominant sport such as 100-meter sprinting, this means that throwers need to be not only ridiculously strong in terms of raw force production, but also ridiculously fast in terms of raw speed production. So depending on the season and the athlete's needs, they will therefore divide their training emphasis into different spectrums of power training. Those three attributes have their own universe of rules and their own designated methodology. Here is a discus thrower performing a hang power clean at 210 kilograms, aka 463 pounds. Now, I do not care about the atrocious technique here, that is beyond the point. If anything, it makes the lift even more impressive, because if he by this technique can power clean 210 kg at this velocity, imagine if he had the technique of a competitive Olympic weightlifter, how scary that thought would be. He ragdolls this weight, it flies up. Look at the velocity of this weight. This is not baby weights, it's 210 kilograms. Probably something that 99.99% of the world's population have not even deadlifted from the ground, let alone perform a hang power clean and ragdoll the weight like this. Here's a multiple-time world medalist shot putter performing a bench press triple at about 400 pounds, which is about 181 kilograms, with an average velocity of 0.67 meters per second at this weight. This is ridiculously fast. And again, this is something that track and field throwers will take very seriously. It's not only about moving the heavy weights per se, it's about moving them fast as well. So often in their training you will find them using velocity measuring devices as well. And here is my favorite, Ryan Crouser again, the same athlete with a 34-inch vertical jump at a body weight of 319 pounds. I don't think most people have any clue how ridiculous this is, how ridiculously athletic it is. A 34-inch vertical jump, which is about 86.4 centimeters, is impressive regardless of your body weight. And then we have this guy accelerating all of this body mass of 319 pounds up in the air for this altitude is just beyond imaginable. It just goes to show how ridiculously powerful those guys are. And here's a clip of him ragdolling a power snatch of 140 kilograms, which is about 319 pounds at 2.75 meters per second, which is ridiculously fast for this weight. Now, of course, many of those lifters are in all likelihood predisposed to some extent to power production with regards to a high proportion of fast twitch muscle fibers and other anatomical factors, but that is only one side of the coin. Because in addition to that, they have gone through a lifetime of power training, approaching every lift, every jump, throw and sprint with maximal mental intent, and they have just neuroplastically altered their brain to produce powerful movement regardless of what they do. And if you're competing in a sport outside of throwing that demands explosive power production, whether you're a boxer, a soccer player, or a football player, or a basketball player, the key takeaway that you can learn from this category of athletes is to approach your exercises with powerful intent so that you can alter your brain and learn how to put forth more powerful intention. This is known as rate coding, motor unit recruitment, and this is a trainable phenomenon. So overall, the training methods that those athletes implement for power production includes heavy strength training with the compound lifts, Olympic weightlifting, ballistic training, plyometrics, and occasionally sprinting. All of those will target power production at different spectrums.